Right, and I'm your host for tonight, The Mad Rush, live and direct from the 360. Yeah, all the way in the Oldham Gallery. Well, you know today's mission has been from 11 o'clock this morning, and there's been pure people here from the music industry. You've had the likes of, look, Tim Westwood, you've had the likes of, you've had the Shiesty, you've had the Sapo, you've had the Spellbound, you've had the Broken English, you've had all the music industry artists just coming here, representing, giving their advice to the up-and-coming artists. And we're on about the Northwest up-and-coming artists, unsigned.
I think it's good that this kind of event is happening in Oldham. I think there needs to be more of it, especially as black music, urban music, because there's not a lot of it at all that happens. And there's a lot of talent in Oldham that never gets recognised. So it's about time that people got together to, you know, celebrate urban music, because we're good. Urban music is good, and it should be up there more. So represent.
First thing I would say to anyone there who's got any ideas of getting into the music, you don't think you're good. If you don't think you're good, why would I think you're good? You need to be able to sell it to me. So, I mean, I wasn't enough self-belief to believe that I was good, and from there I just went and pushed every button, rang every doorbell, you know, did what I needed to do to make sure people find out, yeah, Rodney P's out there was doing something, you know.
I think this event is amazing. I think it's just good because, like, you know, it just gets people with talent just to show it, yeah, and build the confidence of yourself. Yeah, I like it, it's good.
What inspired your music?
Basically, what inspired my music was I wanted to push the Asian people in the UK, Asian people generally. Our music is big, you know what I mean, across the world.
I go by the name DJ Premier, that's my professional name. I wasn't born with that name, but that's the name that fits my particular style of doing music, hip-hop, music in general, really, because I'm into everything. I'm not just into hip-hop, I'm into all music. It just gotta sound good to my ear.
Okay, this is Connie Khan, coming from Manchester. I used to be part of Microdisiacs. Just doing my own thing. Just here to see what's going on, basically. We can hear Jay Sean in there. He sounds good. See a lot of ladies in there screaming.
Well, I used to sing, like, you know, when I was a little kid anyway. You know, I used to sing and rap from like the age of 11 or 12. I only really got taken seriously when I started to do some demos, and I worked with Rishi Rich, and he heard like my music and stuff like that. And I started working with him, and then record companies heard the stuff that we were doing, and that's when I got signed, and that's when I got the chance to kind of put my music out there in the shops.
What was your motivation to join the music industry?
My motivation to be in the music industry was just because my simple love for music. That's it. You know, to some people, music is just like, it's background noise. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're in their car, whether they're at a house. You know, but for me, music was always more than that. You know, I always found myself singing along or rapping or ad-libbing or doing something over the songs, to the point that, you know, when I was studying, and I did study hard for all his parents who are watching this, you know, I still kept on doing my music, you know what I mean? I kept on writing and I kept on singing and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, well, yo, I'm 22 now, why am I still doing this? You know what I mean? I'm meant to be studying to be a doctor. And that's when I realized that there was something more. There was something more to music than just, you know, listening to it for the fun of it. And we all know, like, you know, well, maybe not you kids, because you haven't been clubbing yet, have you? Oh. But when we used to go clubbing, you know, we used to see that there were like 60-70% Asian people in there listening to R&B and hip-hop, and I thought, well, how come there ain't no one doing it? You know, so I think to be, you know, the first British Asian to do that, it's a good feeling, but also I've got a lot of responsibility now, and I've got a lot that I've got to prove, and I still want to go out there and show people that we're just as capable of being here in this position, and, you know, hopefully that we're here to stay now.
Can you just sing for us?
What do you want me to sing for us? Holding on. How'd I let it get this far? What was going through my mind? There you go, that was fine.
Okay, how does it feel to be loved by all the girls around the world?
I'm just, you know, I just appreciate anyone who's supporting me at the moment, you know, because I think what I've seen is I've seen the support grow, you know, ever since when I first started up and I was doing PAs in clubs, and there were people at the front who, you know, who kind of just chatting away, and people weren't chatting, weren't listening to what I was doing, and then to see it all build, and then people actually start turning up to the shows, and then you see the same faces around as well, and you kind of just realise how much support there is out there. So, you know, I just really appreciate all of that.
You know, the most important thing is people are starting to network now, from up north, down south, Midlands. People are starting to appreciate what everyone else has to offer.
How long have I been beatboxing? I've been beatboxing since I was about 9 years old. Yeah, I got into it through, my dad was a drummer, so I used to hear him play kit, and just got into it through there, really. I never had a kit of my own, so I used to just sit there like making, just doing beats.
Trust me, big up Manchester, UK. We're representing, we're running things. God bless. Peace.
How long have I been in the music business? If you're talking literally, I guess since about the late 70s, I started a band called Basement 5, and in the 80s I was in a group called Big Audio Dynamite. What I'm known for is being, I guess, the first black DJ to turn these white kids onto reggae. My parents are Jamaican. They came over in the late 50s. They brought their hopes, their dreams, and their precious record collections. My dad actually had a sound system for a while, and he was playing things like ska and blue beat. So that's what really kind of inspired me. I work in the film business, and I've also worked in the music business, and you know, my inspirations are very diverse. I mean, obviously you mentioned Bob Marley was a major inspiration to me, but so are bands like the Beatles. I mean, I grew up with black and white culture side by side. I'm partially famous for being the man that turned punks onto reggae. You know what punks are, right? Yeah, you heard of them? And I mean, one thing that I've never done is let my colour define me. A lot of people think, well, if you're black, you can only like black music.
Define hip-hop, and what does it mean to you?
Basically, the black music that was happening in the mid-70s in New York was getting overproduced, like Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, and it didn't reflect the feeling of the youth on the street. You know what that's like, right? So the young people decided to create their own soundtrack. They didn't have any money, and they didn't have any technical expertise. But there's an old saying that says necessity is the mother of invention. What they had was turntables, and they worked out a way of creating music by cutting up records. That's how hip-hop started. And when it started, it was a kind of a protest music. You know, they had kind of... You guys heard of Public Enemy? Yeah. Okay, well, hip-hop back in the day, that's what it was like. It was kind of very radical, very anti-establishment. And I first got interested in the idea of expressing myself through film by seeing a film called A Harder Day Come. You guys are too young to know what that is. This is a film made in the early 70s in Jamaica. Stars a guy called Jimmy Cliff, and it's the first reggae film. And I saw this film, and it was inspirational because not only was it entertaining, but again, it communicated ideas. And I like the idea of being able to entertain and communicate ideas to people.
I mean, today it's just been all about the Northwest unsigned acts. I know that there's talent. You know what I mean? Everyone's going on about it's happening down south, but they're forgetting what's happening up north. And that's what today's been about, because it's good to see all the music industry people from down south coming up to the north and checking it out. So from the 360, from the Mad Rush and the Swayze, we out of here.
Listen, who's my favourite artist? Again, that changes day to day. Outkast are good though, aren't they? Dead Prez are good, aren't they?
To this day, I think you've still got to have that that hunger and that, you know, that joy and that love for what you do. Otherwise, you know, there's no point in me doing music as a career. You know, I'm doing it because I love it.